that's the thing, right? You get people, but there's still people to carry on what you would have left off, because people still have that mentality. Can I say it's a sick mentality? I don't know, but people carry on what they, how do I say there? I'm trying to make sure I say the correct thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Fidel Castro passed, you would have think somebody would have joined and like break that spell, but that didn't happen.
That's what I thought.
So there are people that still believe in this kind of dictatorship, this kind of.
I don't think they necessarily.
Religion should be one way. This is what people should do. So they carry on what. Because they might consider that man a martyr, but I don't know how.
It's sort of like the devil you know kind of thing, and part that and part where we don't know anything else. Well, which is essentially the same thing. It's like, well, we don't even know how to. We might want to open up the economy, but we don't even know how to go about it. And they might be too proud to ask.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because they need to.
And then they might be afraid of. They might be afraid of what comes with democracy, like dissent and the fact that everybody has their own mind, and those authoritarians like to call democracy messy and unstable. The Chinese, for example, are all about harmony and this kind of thing, which is why they are such control freaks as far as controlling their people. And I think with the Cubans, I mean, they've been communists for so long. I think a lot of maybe the president and a lot of the leaders are probably scared of what opening the economy would mean. They're not accustomed to being criticized. They're not accustomed of just letting people have free reign and doing what they like. And then they're also going to it's probably going to be a bad reaction.
When you say they're not accustomed to being criticized, because they're being criticized for not allowing.
No, but you see, they lock up hundreds of people and stuff like that, just like in Russia. Yeah, people go and you have to have a license to thing, and I think you could only have
to protest.
If you have a protest, it could only be one person and this kind of nonsense. Yeah, in Russia, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's why I guess people get locked. Yeah.
So people hold up placards. People hold up placards with nothing on it and crap like that in Russia.
Yeah, boy. But you noticed the unrest that was it Martinique that we spoke about?
Yeah.
You noticed the the mainland decided that they're gonna adhere to whatever.
Yeah, and
they're gonna bring down the prices as best as they could. I think at least by 20%.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah,
I actually sent it to Terrence. So I want to hear what he has to say about that.
Because I didn't like the fact that violence was included, but they stood for something and they got something out of it. I wish they would have, but those people always protest. If I remember when I flew and the air traffic controllers decided we want something and they decide their airspace is closed, guess what? We can't go anywhere. We have to wait until they open that airspace, and you best believe they got what they wanted before that airspace was open. Without violence too. They just decide nobody flying here, and that's gonna mess up everything, so they're gonna work with their people. That's why I say you have to stand for something or else you'll fall for anything, and we know that.
Yeah, so
we can peacefully protest. We don't have to be violent in our protest, and people need to stop telling people what they can't do, especially if they're not going to hurt anything. Like the Cuban man is telling them if they don't behave.
But also,
they're going to be in problems.
I don't even think, I would argue that
oppressing his people.
I would argue that we are not even far enough removed from that, because I think a lot of our, well, of course I can't equate our politicians with people from those kinds of milieus where it's an authoritarian style government. I think we have the same problem where a lot of our politicians are thin-skinned, and where they know they can't do a lot of the things that they can do in those authoritarian countries, they'll end up doing a lot of passive-aggressive stuff, which could be just as effective. You might lose it. You might find that you stop. You might all sorts of weird stuff that's happening to you. Maybe at your job and in other, in other pursuits and so on. But it's not equal. But I know a lot of our politicians and so on, they're not.
But when you get into certain careers or avenues or positions in life. Let me put it this way. You have to expect a lot. Like, we look at the people that live in the U.S., because the U.S. is the biggest example we have out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you see how they build you up and they pull you down. Look at the two candidates now. Right?
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not gonna say anything about him today. I don't want Jay Black to get me.
If that guy wins,
do you see how it is? He's pulling down a good woman. They're elevating a bad man. This reminds me of Bible days. Which one do you want? Jesus or Barabbas? Give us back the thief. Let him vandalize our house. Let him take whatever, but we don't want the good person.
Exactly.
So
it's just weird to me.
Yeah, that's life. A real cycle, huh? A real cycle.
Yeah. Okay, we got 1 minute to 10. Just a good time to remind folks that we have our Money Matters show returns on November 4th, Monday, November 4th, the first Monday in November. And we've been digging in the archives. I don't know if you can call stuff from a year ago, the archives. So we have another rerun for you guys this morning. It's going to be Terrence Martin talking to 3 Bryant College students, two economists, or you could say budding economists, and 1 budding lawyer. And he asked them about the economy and so on. And it's a very interesting discussion. And this is a way to prime you for the return of Money Matters as it gets close to the season. This broadcast was first aired on October 30th, 2023. So this is where we bring down the curtains on Island Tea. Yeah. And so I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Yes, you certainly will.
Sounds good. So hope you have a nice day.
You too, kind sir.
All right. And we apologize to the listeners. We had a power outage. We were actually on generator power at the moment. So those of you, we got kicked off for a bit. And we're back up now. But go over to winmediaskn.com if you're not listening to the radio. And you can listen to the Money Matters rerun. That's coming up now.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
You too.